Hi, my name is Cody Casey, and I am doing my Unit 2 visual journal for American Government. I chose the topic of drug decriminalization. Drug addiction is a major problem globally and economically. Drugs are not bad, however, the choices people make and the uneducated people are the problem. The tax money we use on fighting the drug war is useless. We cannot stop the Middle East from producing and exporting opioids into the United States through illegal acts or people falsely gaining prescriptions from doctors who are paid by pharmaceutical companies. If we use the money for educating and informing the human population on how bad these substances really are, then we could stop a lot of people falling down a terrible path of addiction, causing them to lose their children and ultimately a failed life where all your time and money is spent towards drugs that are ruining your quality and overall quantity of life. I personally think that they should be making places where drug users can use their drugs in peace, and this place will also have clean needles and many other things to stop the people from contracting diseases like AIDS and HIVs. These places would mostly be in the bigger cities where the most drug problems are. This is what I feel we should be doing to help the drug users of today. I think that the United States has more important things to focus on other than drugs or marijuana. Because of the strict drug laws, most jails and prisons are overfilled, and it has a huge impact on a person with the littlest charge. According to drugpolicy.org, the United States makes more than 1.5 million drug arrests, which is more than all violent crimes combined. It also states that people who are convicted of drug possession also face other consequences, such as eviction from public housing, the loss of federal financial aid, loss of the right to vote, disqualification from a wide range of occupational licenses, such as CNA license, just all those kind of licenses. Also, they can have them for a denial of public assistance. Drug courts do not usually help people with drug problems and actually inflict more punishment on people suffering than traditional criminal records. I think that if we started focusing less on drug crimes and let a lot of people go that are in prison and in jail right now for those drug crimes, it would make more room and more time for law enforcement to be focusing on the more serious and violent crimes. I also believe that a lot of the negativity towards law enforcement comes from their overbearing power and supervision over drugs. So if they were to quit focusing so much on those tiny charges and start protecting their communities they swore to serve and protect by stopping crimes that are actually harmful to the community, so they would gain more support from their community. I am from Hutchinson, Kansas, which is a very drug-addicted town, so to speak, but I feel like the law enforcement there is more focused on busting those drugs and crackheads and all that kind of stuff instead of actually focusing on actual crimes. We, in the past, 6 or 7 months, have had lots of break-ins to vehicles and lots of other crimes like that the cops haven't even blinked an eye at. I also know that I know a lot of people who do smoke marijuana or do not hard drugs, but maybe some drugs, and I know that marijuana does not affect them like everyone thinks it really does. And I think that, as I had said, the United States should not be focusing so much on the decriminalization of drugs, and I think they should start focusing more on actual crimes such as the shootings that have been happening, just a whole terrorist, not really necessarily terrorist attacks, but more violent crimes. I think that drug charges are such a petty charge and it can ruin somebody's life, even if they get on probation and all that stuff. I know that when somebody goes to jail for drugs, that some jails don't really provide a program to help these drug addicts get better or stuff like that. As I had said, they are more strict and more punishing on those who have drug charges other than actual criminals. There was just a story about a guy from Baylor who had raped 6 or 7 different girls and got off on it. I think that that is something that is way more important than drugs, and because that guy can run free and go possibly rape other people, and while the people that were doing drugs not necessarily were bothering other people with it. I think as long as they are minding their own business, so to speak, and not causing harm to anybody else, I do not think that the United States should be focusing on the criminal aspects of drugs.